Guys, welcome to another West Coast Mopars video. This is a 69 Dodge Charger. My buddy Brad owns this car right now. We're just about to drive it down to Victoria. Looks like I'm driving it. Never driven it before, so that'll be a good 2.5 hour road trip. It's originally, what was it, white with a blue interior and blue vinyl top? Yeah. Original 318 car. It's now Plum Crazy. It's got a 440. Aluminum heads?
Yeah, aluminum heads.
Aluminum rad, aluminum heads. Quick fuel carb. I think you said you had a 440 source kit in it? Yeah. As you guys just heard, pretty good cam in it. Hooker headers. What's that?
It's a bit dusty.
Oh, that's okay. That's the problem with having nice cars, is they show all the crap. Buckets console. Was the original console car?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. My favorite part, the working tick-tock tack. I mean, you see them, but you never see them working. You never see any clock working. Yeah, should be a good trip. About, what, 4 gas station stops?
Oh yeah.
If that, maybe more.
5 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, yeah. That's good thing you're paying for fuel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just over here in Port Alberni, but gonna make the trip down to Victoria, where he's potentially has this car sold, hopefully. And then we can hopefully find you a 4-speed E-body.
That's what we're looking for.
Or something.
Or even an A-body.
Even a 4-speed A-body.
That's the plan.
You've had this car like, what would you say, 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
10 years? Yeah. You put new wheels on it, I think.
New wheels.
Yeah, those
tires.
look way better. The other wheels he had, the aluminums, I didn't. They were kind of just.
They were not my thing.
No. New grill.
New grill, new interior, new bumpers. Engine's only 2 years old. Restorations in Port Alberni to the engine. Richard Spencer.
I never noticed that they put the Dodge emblem on the turn signals there.
Oh really?
Yeah, I never noticed that. That's cool. It's got with the hood mounted turn signals.
Yeah, that never came factory with that. I added.
Oh, you added them. Yeah.
Complete with the wiring harness.
MSD ignition. Yeah, so do a couple clips going down the highway in this thing for you guys too, and just thought I'd share another one. Thought I'd get a video of this thing before he sells it. So, alright, just left his house. Good way for me to try out the car on a super steep hill. I've never driven this car before. Pretty sure it's got front disc brakes. Radio delete, pretty cool. Got the delete plate there. It's got the rally gauges with the 150. Fuel gauge works, that's pretty nice. Temp gauge. be driving this for Brad. He just asked me the other day if I could drive it, and he'll follow me there, and then we'll drive back together, because it's nice to show up to sell the car and you can say, yeah, I drove it all the way from Port Alberni or whatever. It's about a 2 hour, a little over a 2 hour drive, but you know, I always want to experience driving. You know, you want to drive as many cars as you can. Doesn't mean I need to own them all, but it's nice to experience driving different cars, and I have to say I've never driven a 69 Charger, so sort of check that one off the list. The speedometer's a little out. It says I'm doing 50 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure I'm doing about 40. So we'll see what it's like going over the highway and stuff, but Cathedral Grove now. Get through here, we'll go around Cameron Lake. Charger runs good. It's got lots of power, lots of torque. Temp climbed a little bit going over the hump, but he did warn me of that. He said sometimes it gets up around 195-ish, 200. I think it hit 200, but it came back down right away. I mean, I'm pretty sure 70s Ford pickups came stock with a 195 thermostat. So to hit 200, I don't stress about it. What's boiling point? You know, 216-ish, something like that. And that's with water, so with antifreeze, he should be okay. He's got aluminum heads. Don't worry about cracking cast iron heads or anything. That's pretty cool. He was saying before we left he's never driven it past Parksville. That's where I live, or I'm just outside Parksville. But he personally has driven it from Port Alberni to Parksville. That's about 40 minutes-ish, 40-minute drive. So to go to Victoria, that's another 2 hours. So this will be the longest the farthest it's gone since he's had it. quiet in here. I mean, it's pretty loud when you're outside. It sounds good with that cam, but I can actually hear myself think in here. Getting into where they had the big fire here, the Cameron Lake or the Cameron Bluffs fire. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a couple of years ago now, maybe last year. It was last year, I think. And everything on the right side here, they've added this screen, all this netting, everything's all burned up there from when the fire happened. So they put this screen up because all this stuff kept falling from the hills. They couldn't stop all this stuff from falling. It kept closing the road. This pass was closed for so long, nobody could get through. Driving through Nanaimo here. I'm just on the parkway. Got I don't know, just over half a tank. Alright, just passing through sort of South Nanaimo, just about up in Cassidy. Yeah, he must have a heavier foot than I do because we still got half a tank of gas. He thought South Nanaimo Airport area we were going to have to fill up again, but I think we'll be just fine. There's this neat place on the side of the highway there. He's got all these old cars, so that's where the duster on the pole used to be there. There was an orange 70 duster. And it was up on that pole for so long. Sort of, you know, the old auto wreckers, they used to have an old car up on the pole, if you ever saw that. Yeah, they had an orange duster. And it finally came down. We saw it in Port Alberni one day at the drag races. The guy just got it down off the pole. And it turned out it was a Buckets console car with an 8 3/4 in the back. Nobody ever even realized. So that was pretty cool. There's still a guy back there. He's got a bunch of dusters and apparently he's got a Hemi Roadrunner, but I don't think he sells much out of there. I think it's just his own personal stuff. But so far, no issues with the car. We've been driving about, I don't know, a little over an hour. Sticking around 190 degrees. A little fumey in here when I open the windows, actually, but always liked this old farm here with that big oak tree out in the middle. Spruceton Road there. Used to go up there, and that's where my buddy Joe Pullen had his Cassidy Speedway, was up that way. The old circle track. That video, it took a 4-part series earlier. A bunch of old cars in a field, and that's Joe Pullen's place. He used to own Cassidy Speedway. A lot of those cars he raced on his circle track. Airport here. There's a duster sitting over behind this yard here. Sort of, there's train tracks over there, and used to be able to see the front end of a duster sticking out. And somebody told me up this road here, it says Timberlands, I think this road is. There's a pub back there. Somebody said there's some guys got some Imperials, like early 60s Imperials down there. I drove down there, I could never find them, but I didn't really look too hard. Ladysmith's a pretty historic town, pretty neat place. They kept all the old buildings are still here. When you go through the actual downtown core, it's just up the hill there. It's super neat. All the old, you know, the buildings are all like 100 years old or older. There's a couple of the oldies down here on the highway, but not nearly as many when you're up there. But the museum, or not museum, sorry, there's an antique store down here my wife and I like to go to. And I think it used to be the bank, maybe? I'll show it in a sec. You'll see it up here in a sec. There it is, coming up here on the right. What a neat old building. You know, the post office, that's what it was. Yeah, it's an antique store now, and you go in there and it's so cool in there. It's just loaded with antiques. Just passing through sort of Chemainus. This is Chemainus, but this is like the highway side of Chemainus. The old Chemainus is beautiful down by the water. Just dawned on me, my wife and I are driving the my 57 Royal Lancer. We're going to drive that to Sydney this coming Sunday. Today is Wednesday, so on Sunday we're driving all the way back to Victoria, except add another half hour to go to Sydney for the big car show they do there, the Torque Masters car show. So, oh well, some people do this drive every day. I think they drive to work, do this same drive every day. think, parked on the highway for sale. At least it was last time. It's like a 57 or 58 Ford. It's a car. It's like a Fairlane or something. But it looks like they took the front clip off of it. Yeah, I can see it's parked up there still. Maybe you guys can see it. They took the front fenders and the grill and the hood. I wonder if they're building like a couch or something out of it. They had a while back. They had like looked like a Nomad, a wagon, a 55, I don't know, 56, 57 Chevy. Parked out here for sale. Same thing. They took the front clip. I don't know if they're just taking these cool old cars and taking the front noses off. Whoever you are, stop doing it. You're ruining them. Great project cars that now the next guy's got to go and try and find all those parts. Just about in Duncan, so gas gauge is showing just between 1/4 and 1/2, so I don't know how accurate it is. I think he says he only fills it up to 3/4, something to do with the vent tube. When it's hot out, some of the fuel kind of backs up the filler tube. So anyways, I think I'll pull off in Duncan here. We're gonna get some gas. That'll probably be the last stop for gas, and then I haven't actually stopped yet for gas, so I think it's doing pretty good. Honestly, it probably would make it to Victoria, but I don't know this car. I don't know how accurate the gauge is. So I think we'll stop in Duncan, get gas, and then just head on over to the guy's house. Little van over there, that's pretty cool. An old dairy milk delivery van or something like that. I was thinking I'd have to stop at the Chevron. They got 94, but just realized Shell recently put in 93. They used to just be 91 octane for their premium, but they've got 93 now, so that's pretty awesome. You're not stuck just going to Chevron. Remember driving my Dart to Penticton and Calgary, we had to purposely stop at all the Chevrons because that was the only place you could get gas. Like, this is ridiculous. The whole trip's planned out over where the chevron is. Be fun. Duncan's always so busy. I'm gonna have to turn left across the highway, and it's like bumper to bumper through this. It's a Trans-Canada highway, but they run it right through downtown, and it slows down to 50, so it's just backed up like crazy all the time. It's been like this since I was a kid. Just seems to get worse. Just fueled up in Duncan, and now we're just gonna head south here, go over the Malahat, and head to the new owner's house. And if the new owner is nice enough, which I know him, and he probably is, he might let me do a video on some of his cars. He's got a huge Valiant collection. He's got an early Commando, 65 Commando 4-speed Barracuda, lots of early Valiants. He's got some neat stuff, so I don't know if he'll let me or not. He's pretty private, but we'll see. Cobble Hill area. Beautiful farms out here. Okay, we're just going over the Malahat. This is sort of the mountain pass between Victoria and the rest of the island. Now he's got to poke fun at the Victoria guys. I mean, this drive is so easy, but for some reason, there's so many cool cars over in Victoria, and those guys, some of those guys have never even left Victoria. They're like too afraid to drive this mountain pass in their old cars. I don't know why, but guys, it's not that bad. I never understand. They don't want to come to our car show in Coombs because they go, oh, I gotta drive the Malahat. Guys, seriously, this is pathetic. Anyways, that's enough of that. That's my say on the Malahat, people who are afraid to drive it. Maybe back in the 20s when this was like a dirt road and there was no barricades, fine, I get that, but there's nothing scary about this drive. Alright, enough of that. Anyways, 75, 80 miles an hour. Just coming down to it's like Goldstream Park. I think it's just a provincial park area. There's like a river down there and some big old maple trees and stuff. Nice drive through here. I've always liked this area. North end of Victoria, sort of View Royal area. Anyways, guys, I'll probably wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, and just thought I'd show this charger. My buddy Brad's had this charger for years, and I always keep bugging him that I gotta get a video of it, and I never did. So, this is sort of its farewell. I think he's gonna sell it today, and he asked me if I could drive it down to Victoria for him. That's just him in front of us here with his wife in that Volkswagen. So I'll hop back in with them, and we'll go for some lunch and head home, and the charger's gonna have a new home. So you guys in Victoria, you see a Plum Crazy 69 Charger driving around. That was my buddy Brad Cook's car out in Port Alberni. I don't know if you can see it over there. There's a 64 Chrysler. It looks like a Windsor or a New Yorker. I think that car, I remember going to Camosun here, Camosun College. I'm an electrician. And those cars, I used to walk past them all the time, walking over to the college. I'll see once the light turns here, see if you guys can see them. Used to have two of them. but I could just see the one. Oh no, there's two packed in there. Anyways. It's just beautiful driving through here too. You get all these oak trees. We don't get all these North Island. They sort of stop in Victoria. What a beautiful area. Guys, we're just about at the guy's house now, so I appreciate everyone who's watched this far, and we'll see you on the next one. I just thought I'd showcase my buddy Brad's Charger here, and he's selling it today, so I wanted to make sure everybody gets to see it. I got all the windows rolled down. That ended up being sort of a long day. The car did not sell, not because the guy didn't want it, but because apparently when the car got modified collector plates, they changed the status on the car to altered instead of, you know, like when you have a rebuilt car, you got a rebuild title, and so apparently they changed it to altered, and the guy that was going to buy the car said, I don't want a Charger with altered. So now he's looking at having to get it inspected again, back to normal. And so anyways, a lot of sort of drama about the paperwork. Nothing wrong with the paperwork, but you know, the car's got modified collectors on it. Here we are, it's insured. Drove it all the way from Port Alberni to Victoria. That's like a good 3 hours on the highway. And get down there, and the guy decided nope. So we turned around, and here I am driving it all the way back to Port Alberni. I mean, I'm just the driver. I don't mind. It's not my car. I feel for my buddy. He's a little, you know, I think he's a little, it's been a long day, let's say that. So I'm just going up to Noose Hill now. We'll be going through Parksville soon, and then back to Port Alberni.